Hi, it's Ileana, and today we are going to look at Carolyn Blakemore's Memory Retrieval course review and testimonial. Dates that were covered for trialing the Memory Retrieval course materials were August 19th, 2022 through August 31st, 2022. And Carolyn wrote to me, I am submitting my initial experiences with the Mind Retrieval course along with 2 drawings. I found it very interesting, easily understood, and had exciting results quickly with this course material. I'm very impressed with the course, and I was a little nervous that I might tense up, especially with the UFO stuff. Rather, I was so pleasantly surprised that it all went so smoothly and that it was readily accessible, and now I have much more confidence knowing how well it all works and my positive experiences using it. Notes from my process and experiences. Part 1. Videos. I thought the videos were exceptionally excellent, very on point, and in Part 1, almost all were under 10 minutes, very concise, and contained all pertinent information needed. Each topic was easily understood and comprehended. Ileana's your voice is very calm and soothing, as well as a nice, friendly, and helpful countenance with great eye contact. I chose to take notes on all videos and transcribe my notes for computer files, as well as a hard copy notebook to have the course information easily accessed for future reference. I especially liked video number 10, How to Prepare for Meditation and Memory Retrieval Journeys. So number 10 was special to her, How to Prepare for Meditation and Memory Retrieval Journeys. I used many ideas from this video in my induction scripts for recording. It helped make very clear the process and how to accomplish it. So Carolyn decided to, what she incorporated from learning from this course, she decided to make her own scripts based on the portal and the time machine and the other things explaining how memory retrieval works. She wanted to use her own voice for the induction based on the course materials. So that's why she created her own scripts, and that's fine to do. If you would like to try it that way, it's fine to do as well. This is what the course is designed to teach you guys, how to incorporate different techniques for memory retrieval for yourself to try out. Recording. I enjoy creating my own personal recordings because my subconscious and conscious mind is used to my own voice, and I have complete control over the process. So like Carolyn explains, she is used to listening to her own voice during meditation and during memory retrieval processes. So she finds creating her own scripts to be helpful for her. And some people like it to do it like that, and I think that's perfect because she's practicing how to do memory retrieval based on what she's learning from the course material and the protocols already included, and those are my own unique scripts that I had created as well. So she's working off of that and creating her own different scripts, which is great. And she goes on to describe, I decided to record 2 separate sessions, one for the portal and one for the time machine. This way I can choose the option I specifically want to work with. I fashioned the scripts to be used with each session. At the end of the induction, there is the invitation to recall the new questions requests prepared for the session, written prior to the session and brought forward at the time of listening. When making recordings, I played the music listed below on one device as background and recorded with a separate recording device that incorporated my voice as the focal point. After I was done giving suggestions, the music continued for about 45 minutes of the recording to assist in a relaxing recall experience. Music. The meditation music I chose is public domain on YouTube from the Monroe Products, HemiSync, and that's the Monroe Institute. After researching many options, I found two that I particularly liked for this application: Portal and Time Machine. I especially appreciate using the HemiSync technology for enhancement of balancing the brain hemispheres and getting into the theta state. The music chosen was A Distant Star by Micah Sadiq for the Time Machine and The Return by Micah Sadiq for the Portal. Preparation for journeying questions. I began my experience with using a free flow meditation, then following that with the Portal and Time Machine sessions. For continuity, the meditation experience is listed last. Questions for Portal sessions 1 and 2. I wish to explore a potential past life or lives regarding being a wise woman or a medicine woman / herbalist nature doctor. I have had many leanings in this way and have some natural past life flashes and recall. My present life reflects knowledge and use of herbs for medicine. Trained in herbal medicine, but even before having any formal training, they were strong signs. Question number 1 was, what is the most important past life I have had as a natural healer or plant medicine woman? Question number 2, have I had more than one past life in this capacity? Question number 3, was I targeted for using these methods? Portal session 1 and 2, questions and answers. I wish to explore potential past life or lives regarding being a wise woman or a medicine woman, herbalist / natural doctor. I have had many leanings in this way and have some natural past life flashes and recall. My present life reflects knowledge and use of herbs for medicine, trained in herbal medicine, but even before having any formal training. So she's basically had connections with inklings of how herbal medicine works even before having any formal training, like she says, and that's likely connected to this past life stuff that she's about to explore. What is the most important past life I have had as a natural healer or plant medicine woman? That's question 4. I'm aware that I am a young girl, dressed very simply, in a brown dress and no shoes on. I am in a forested area that I am very familiar and comfortable in. There is a woman with me who I like very much. Her name is Mab. She is very loving and kind toward me, and we enjoy being in each other's company. She's teaching me all about nature, the elements, the stars, the ways of animals and birds, gathering plants. It all seems as if it is a game or fun to me, and I am happy. I have someone who likes to play with me. From an observer's point of view, it seemed as if she was acting as a mentor or teacher. So it's her mentor or teacher. I asked myself what year it was. I got 1636, and the location is France. And this question and answer was done on August 29th, 2022. Question 5 was, have I had more than one past life in this capacity? And the session was done on August 30th, 2022. I see myself in front of a very large and tall stone fireplace. The date is 1811. I appear to be around 35-40 years old, and am wearing a floor-length dress with an apron. This is work clothing. My hair is dark and long and in an updo style. I got the name Brioni in the year of 1811. I am busy preparing things I need to take with me. I am a midwife. I like my work, but I am very exhausted as there is so much work to do. And then she did some research, and while researching, she says I could not find a location called Brioni, but it is a girl's name, as well as a plant. It may well have been either of those. Question number 6. was I ever targeted for doing this work, and the session was done on August 30th, 2022. I see two scenes, first a public hanging and secondly a public burning. The hanging was by far much more intense for me in the vision than the burning. The angst had to do with the mixed emotions of the people in the crowd. Some were greatly distraught and some were gleeful. Questions for Time Machine Session 1 and 2. I wish to explore a natural memory about a potential abduction experience. I have excellent recall of the activities leading up to the event. The setting. I was a sophomore in high school, 16 years old. I belonged to a school club called the Booster Club, which was a club whose common goal was to foster team spirit for all the athletics teams, but also among the entire student body and the staff. It was a warm and beautiful spring day. The Booster Club had an official and school-sponsored outing for fun and games in a lovely natural setting run by the Rainbow Dam. We had food, picnics, singing modern songs around the campfire, playing games, and just a relaxing time with approximately 30 students attending. We also had chaperones, 2 or 3 teachers, and no drugs and alcohol. So this event would have been by the Rainbow Dam, and it's a school event, around 30 students. The natural surface memories. I was sitting in a group of 5 to 7 people around a campfire singing. The other students were active doing other things in the area. We all looked up at the same time in the sky and saw 5 circular craft that were flying low and were glowing orange, red in color. Yet my memory was that no one had any response to these ships, but rather it was time to go home, and people were cleaning up and getting ready to go. My girlfriend was the driver, so we left the gathering in her car. We decided to go to a drive-in restaurant that was a hot spot for teens to meet. We stayed approximately 30 to 45 minutes, then she dropped me off at home and went home herself. When I came in the door, my parents were waiting and they were mad. They demanded to know why I was 3 hours past my curfew time. I was shocked and didn't understand how that could be true, but the clock doesn't lie. I tried to divert the conversation by describing the UFO sighting to them. She says that she tried to divert the conversation by describing the UFO sighting to her parents. They didn't seem impressed with my explanation and grounded me for 2 weeks. Thankfully, the next morning, the Great Falls MT Tribune ran a front-page article about the sighting of these craft that were reported by many people across the state. Needless to say, they informed me at breakfast, my parents, that I wasn't grounded and dropped the subject. I attempted several times to discuss the subject with my girlfriend, but she said she couldn't remember anything even years later when I brought it up again. Questions and answers for Time Machine Session 1 and 2. Question number 1. What happened after sighting the 5 circular-shaped UFOs? Question number 2. If abducted, how many others were abducted with me? Question number 3. Explore more deeply into what happened on the ship and observe closely the beings and activities there. So Carolyn prephrases her questions even before she goes into the protocols and the techniques themselves. So she prepares all the questions in advance, and then she explores the questions by asking them again and seeing what comes up during the sessions. So on August 30th, 2022, I am putting my location coordinates as well as the time and date into the time machine. During this session, I decided to use the large plasma screen with the time machine as an observational view for the initial time rather than experiential experience. First session, I asked the first question, what happened first after sighting the 5 circular-shaped UFOs? I am sitting at the campfire singing with friends. We all see 5 large circular ships flying low above us. We are all looking up at the sky and pointing, being excited and surprised. Then I asked the question, if abducted, how many were abducted with me? I watched several beams that came down at the same time from the ships and could see shapes going up in the beams, including myself. I don't get an exact count, and I can't tell if it is the entire group, but I know there are others with me at the same time going up. Question 2. Then I asked the question, then what happened? After coming on board the ship, I see several, 6 to 7 of my friends sitting on a bench type or chairs close together along a wall. They all look like they are sleepwalking, and so do I. Not animated like when awake, but followed the directions when we were spoken to. Question number 3. Explore more deeply into what happened on the ship and observe closely the beings and activities there. 2 small grays came to get me. So she says 2 small grays came to get me and walked on either side of me into a large room with what looked like stainless steel tables. I see a larger gray that they take me in his direction. And I'm placed on the table, and I just do as they tell me and don't talk, cry, or say anything. I feel like this is familiar to me, and I know I have been here or like this before. I see the tall gray from the observer's position on the plasma screen, putting what appears to be a lighted tube up my nostril, and I react as well as to the bright lights in my face. There is a further pelvic examination and samples taken. I'm not sure what was taken, and it doesn't seem to cause me to react. I still appear to be in the sleepwalking, partial consciousness state, and I'm led to a chair outside this room, and I sit down. I can observe that my friends were sitting there with me, but none of us spoke to each other and just kind of stared ahead. I observed us being returned to our exact positions at the campfire, and the ships all left at the same time. They left a dark contrail behind them when they flew off at high speed. We all looked at each other and no one said anything. We just sort of got up and started packing up to go home. August 31st, 2022, second session, same location. I am putting my location coordinates as well as the time and date into the time machine. In session 2, I am entering the time machine transport box and going directly to the location and time of the event. During session 2, it will be an experiential experience to augment information gained from the observational experience previously. Number 1, I asked the first question, what happened after sighting the circular-shaped UFOs? I am happy and excited being with my friends, having fun in nature. After the picnic, we are all engaged in separate group activities. I am sitting at the campfire singing, and we all see 5 large circular ships flying low above us. And they are so close, the bottom of the craft was glowing a bright orange red. In the sky. We are all looking up and pointing excitedly and surprised. Then I asked the question, if abducted, how many were abducted with me? Then I saw multiple extremely bright bluish-white light beams from the ships. Number 2. Then I asked the question, what happened after the sighting? I don't remember anything about getting here into this ship. There are 2 small grays here that are holding my arms on each side and escorting me. I don't like this at all, but I can't seem to stop it or to scream. I'm feeling extremely scared when they walk into a large room with operating tables and lights. I can see people having operations. I really want to get out of here fast, but I can't. Number 3. Explore more deeply into what happened on the ship and observe closely the beings and activities there. The 2 small grays put me on the table, and I'm so embarrassed because I realize I am naked. There is a tall one with a coat on, It is telling me to relax. I'm not going to hurt you. I don't believe him, and I know they are going to give me an operation too. The lights are in my eyes, and it is so bright it hurts. Then nothing. The next thing I know, I am dressed, and the small ones are walking me out to a chair or bench that is part of the wall. There are other people here too. No one is talking, and they are all quiet and staring blankly as I am. Then I am at the campfire, watching the UFOs leave. No more grays. No one said a word about what we just saw and experienced. We all just got up and packed our gear to leave. It was only when I returned home and was grounded that I remembered the UFO sighting experience and related it to my parents. And then Carolyn talks about the meditative recall technique that she tried. I began my experiences by using a free flow meditation technique before using the portal or time machine programs. I will list it here for continuity's sake. August 22, 2022. Meditation recall of serial dreams, recalled and revisiting. Meditation intention. Review the repeated recurring dreams I titled The End of the World. The dreams were always a stark landscape and dark scene, and usually my mission was to save people from impending harm, danger, death. Focusing in on the firearm weapon I was carrying. I wasn't always carrying a weapon in all dreams, and I don't have specific recall of firefights. It is not an M16 that I am qualified on and trained extensively with. It is a larger but lighter firearm with a rifle-like configuration. It has a carry shoulder strap, which is how I usually have the weapon. At my side, it has parts appearing like chrome on it. One of these parts is circular and wraps around the barrel, and has many small circular holes, all around this part. I'm estimating it is about 12 inches in circumference. I don't see myself shooting the firearm in the dreams. It is usually inactive and at my side, and in most dreams, I am in the process of saving people and getting them out of direct danger. There are explosions and some fires. The dreams are usually in a very dark environment, and the landscape seems stark and barren. That concludes the memories I've recalled so far, Ileana. I think I've included most information. I didn't send the 2 scripts I wrote for the portal and the time machine, but if you would like to see them, I will send them separately. I made some drawings I will send as attachments to the email. I really enjoyed this experience, and I was so happy to see how easily and quickly the recall was. It just all seemed to be right there. I have many natural memories and dreams that I can explore initially, while I get more proficient and comfortable with the process before going on to the forgotten or blocked memories. So Carolyn here is exploring memories that she's had memory recall on already, and the course material is being used to augment the memories to get more information, clarity, and detail on them with the portal and the time machine protocol techniques. And she's listening to them. She's using them as an example to create her own scripts, as well as the getting into the meditation and finding meditation techniques that work for her with music that she's comfortable with, to also do the meditation dream recall techniques that are mentioned, how to do this in the course material for the memory retrieval videos. Carolyn has mentioned to me that she's lining up her next natural UFO memories. They are vivid recall until I go up, then I have 0 recall. This course is so great for me and will be for so many others. It's like opening a secret closed door and finding truth you always wanted to know but were afraid to ask. And Carolyn has included some images that she drew of seeing the UFOs, the 5 orange, red glowing UFOs coming in the sky and having those beams come out from them and beaming them up from the Rainbow Dam where they were having the picnic and the Booster Club event. So that's the UFOs in the sky, and there seems to be stars and the beams coming up and beaming them up. So that's picture number 1. And this is picture number 2, again, where Carolyn and her friends are sitting in a circle and doing the picnic, enjoying themselves. And there seems to be mountains in the background and the 5 UFOs coming down above in the sky. And they're seeing them and they're pointing up, wondering what those craft are, what they are, what they're doing there. And they're just looking up in the sky and seeing what's going to happen. So Carolyn was able to clearly see the scenes of the UFOs coming towards them and beaming them up. And she was able to describe this both in written form from her notes and in drawings that she did. So she was able to access her memories quite a bit from just starting to study the course material. And I'm very grateful for Carolyn for reviewing her experiences with the Memory Retrieval course and providing this testimony. Thank you so much, Carolyn.